Can you walk us through what it's been like? I mean, so what we counted, we're 6 months into this, and you had mentioned that that you're not taking any new bookings at this point. Were you prepared? What have you learned? How are you making it through this?
So some of the things I learned, so I already had offered there was a retainer that's paid for our clients when they decide to enter an agreement with us, or, when they're having their invoice, because some agencies have to work a certain way. So, that retainer part I always had, and it was a small retainer. And then after, when I was at 6 months into my business in 2014, I decided, you know what, people say that they love a photo booth. And at the time, digital stuff wasn't really big, but they were like, but I have to make this kind of deposit for catering or this kind of deposit for the venue. And I thought, why don't I just offer payment plans? But then at certain points of the payment plan, money can be refunded or not, based on the contract. So I found that actually helped, one, with the stream of income that was coming in on a regular basis, or, funds that were coming in to be able to use like as working capital. But also I found that it allowed clients to say yes, because now it helped them out. So one of the changes, and the reason why I gave you that example, is one of the changes that we're starting to do with proposals now is we still have the small retainer like we did, but then now what we're doing is, if you have an event, let's say in May, and this is just an example, so don't quote me on it, but we might have your retainer due October or November, right? Because right now we don't have a lot of people who are saying that they need these events that, particular time. So I'm not, going to try to just get this money from them for a retainer. So they pay their retainer October, November, but then we're not going to start their payment plan until 2 or 3 months before their event, because then, for the way that our contract is currently right now, it's in the window of they really wouldn't be able to get their funding back, but it's also a little bit closer to the event that, should things change, let's say January, February in the world, and they don't feel comfortable moving forward, they're out their one part of their retainer, which is a very minimal amount. I just think that helps for better business relationships, less issues later of like refunding money, or they're in this contract, or we're in this pandemic, or something new and it's not quite written that way, or this doesn't cover it in a contract. So that's just one of the ways of doing things a little bit differently. And I think, I don't know, it's a strange place to be, because a lot of people just aren't making decisions and they can't move forward. Or we're in situations where people say, hey, I'm hoping next year things can be, as you say, Zach, what is back to normal? But, back to normal where, hey, we're running your photo booth and we're going to like plan these 10 events with you. Well, our funding was decreased by 50%. So we can only do 5 of these events now instead of these 10 events. So yes, is that going to have an impact on, your potential sales, that you had for those repeat customers? Absolutely. I think that's a big part that's been a tough impact too, is because of my actually coaching that I've done, like a lot of things, Zach, that you taught me 2 years ago. And, with that digital experience and adding that as another opportunity, and it was great. And I was super stoked that this first quarter of 2020, we were double where we were. I mean, it was just amazing. And then literally before third quarter ended, to have this change, it was like, wow, we went from, wow, we were double where we were planning on going, to now it's, 90% less, across the board.
The foundations are there though.
They are. Well, that's exactly what I'm saying, because had I not maybe, had a business coach who said, hey, think about this, plan for the future, I would probably be in a different situation right now, where I probably would be maybe one of the individuals that, you guys are referencing, where people kind of go, well, okay, there's nothing I can do. And I don't have anything to kind of back me up for a while and hold out for, 6 months in case things don't work out. I mean, you've got to always be planning ahead for your business, not just for what you're going to do 30 days from now, but, where do you want to be 6 months from now, a year from now?
Right.